Hello, beautifuls. Welcome back to my Chanel. And welcome to another episode of Wife Swap New Zealand, girls.
No.
Truly one of the shows here on the Chanel that gives us a rather unique insight into the way that people live their lives. Sometimes it's a little bit odd, sometimes it's completely fine and ordinary, and then sometimes a man decides to say something and you're like, what? So far in this season of Wife Swap My Loves, oh, do you have something important to say? A biscuit? So far in this season of Wife Swap My Loves, we've seen a very unusual collection of stories, shall we say. We've had some quite interesting stories about, like, grief and loss, and we've also, in the last episode, saw a rather interesting... How can I say it? I feel like I'm just going to straight up say it. I feel like a bit of a fetish. We saw a bit of a fetish in the last episode, and it was a bit much, wasn't it, Mr. Biscuit? No, Bajines. So, my lovelies, the top comment on the last episode of Wife Swap New Zealand is by Sin. And they say, so uncomfortable at the reunion when Yanan's husband kept bringing up super sexually charged conversation while everyone else is trying to discuss parenting their children. My goodness me, my loves, this was a month ago and I read that comment and I was like, oh yes, I completely agree. Sometimes in life, if you are somewhat of a minority, shall we say, in the majority of whatever population it is you come from, there are, on occasion, men, not always men, but often men, who will just bring up super sexual things about you when they have no reason to do so. It's such an odd little quirk. We're gonna call it a quirk. It's a fetish, but we're gonna call it a quirk to be YouTube advertiser friendly.
Oh, thank God.
It's like these people, for some reason, can't read the room in which they're in. Like, you are on this show. Yes, it's called Wife Swap, but a lot of it is like parenting other people's children or discussing differences in lifestyle that often revolve around different parenting choices. So why are you bringing up, like, sexual innuendos and sexual moments and, like, sexual conversation when none of it is called for? It's so odd. And I would say that to him if I knew that man. Right, my lovelies, are you ready to pop your ohrhanger right into your little New Zealand hole? Today I am on the Pepsi Max once more. Mr. Biscuits is behaving very unusually today. He's been very, very clingy. More clingy than normal. And you've just had all your dinner, haven't you? Yes.
I just want to watch Wife Swap, girls.
So get yourself a beverage, my love. Make sure you're tucked up all toasty and warm. And let's watch Wife Swap New Zealand, girls. What episode are we on? We're on season 1, episode 6. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
On Wife Swap New Zealand.
Wife Swap New Zealand, girls. Ooh. I always find it funny, this little shot that they do here makes the houses look tiny. It's like a tilt shift effect. It looks like toys. This is toys. Is New Zealand made of toys?
Yes! Meet the fit and healthy koalas.
Koala.
Dad
Koala
Nelson,
DeVille.
4-year-old daughter Marie, and healthy eating advocate Carmen.
Ooh.
In our household, Carmen is very much in
Carmen
charge
Carrera.
of all the domestic activities.
Wait.
In our household, Carmen is very much in charge of all the domestic activities.
Okay,
That's
right,
because
yeah,
Nelson
very
works
traditional.
full-time as a tennis coach, and Carmen wants to be a naturopath.
What's a naturopath? Oh no, what's a naturopath? Hang on, what? Naturopathy, a system of alternative medicine based on the theory that diseases can be successfully treated or prevented without the use of drugs. Oh dear, as a scientist, I think I'm going to be really in for it today, my lovelies. We have a word for alternative medicine that works. It's just called medicine.
So I put organic berries. This one has blueberries, strawberries. I am passionate.
Interesting, because technically organic things are not technically natural. Organic just means it's treated with organic-based pesticides rather than synthetic pesticides, which can sometimes, not all the time, sometimes be safer than organic. And one thing, just because something's natural doesn't mean it's healthy for you. Just look at arsenic from ground-up apple pips. No.
About health,
Right.
improving the quality of life of my family members.
Yes,
I
that's
put in
yes.
some mushrooms
Is it lion's
because
mane?
they are very good for the immunity. We
Which
try
one?
to keep free
Turkey
of
tails?
grains, especially wheat. No dairy, no refined sugar. We eat a lot of fresh organic fruits, a little bit of meat, and a little bit of fish. Servisex.
Interesting. Okay, so far I might have jumped the gun just a little bit. I think it's a very good thing to take charge of your own health and diet by watching what you eat and also cutting a lot of like refined nonsense out of the diet. I think when you live in this modern age, it's very difficult to remove absolutely everything. I think it's practically impossible. The one thing I do have the problem with is the word organic, because it is a bit of a buzzword, although I don't know the difference between UK law and New Zealand law. I know that if something is called organic in the UK, it's still treated with pesticides. It still goes through the same processing that non-organic food goes through. It just has to be treated with pesticides you would naturally find occurring in nature.
When I wake up in the morning, I would have
Feeling like
celery
Pete
juice
Diddy.
with a little bit of coriander, ginger, and turmeric.
Right?
I have learned a lot from Carmen, the goodness in food. My diet was not very good when I met her.
Tea?
Nelson's health was getting quite bad, and we had to take him to the doctor a few times.
Oh dear.
I helped doctors to find out the root cause.
So we are supposed to...
Believing his recovery was due to diet and lifestyle alone, Carmen has doubts about conventional medicines.
Marie has had a few vaccines, and she did have an adverse reaction, and her health went down from there.
Oh dear.
So in the future, we are very, very careful with these decisions. Bananas is full.
Interesting. Okay, there is such a thing as vaccine-induced injury. I don't know how much I can talk about it here on YouTube after what we've just all collectively been through. There is such a thing as adverse vaccine reaction, and there is such a thing as vaccine-induced injury. They are, however, considered still one of the safest forms of medicine available. I think being cautious of what you need and only having what you need to have is a very sensible way to approach medicine. And as a trans person, I've often had to school my doctors or my endocrinologists on what works for me. So I have a softer thought process towards people who also have to go through the same sort of processes as me. If anybody here in the audience is a disabled person, you might likely already feel some sort of level of sympathy with the fact that I've said that, because quite often you have to be an expert in your own illness for healthcare professionals to actually completely understand, unless you're seeing a specific specialist. And even then, sometimes people in other countries have more of a specialist knowledge than people in other countries. So keep an open mind, but I don't think we should immediately say, no vaccines for anyone ever. But she hasn't said that, so you know.
Bananas are good for the heart.
Our activities are playing tennis, working, then coaching, dancing.
Oh, that's a nice dress.
We don't
That's
have TV at home.
a very elegant dress for just dancing in the living room.
So my daughter doesn't watch TV.
Interesting.
It's gonna be definitely very interesting to see how she handles a challenge, especially if the people that she's gonna visit is totally different.
Wait, is that
from
what
we
they
are.
do? They don't watch TV, so they dance in the living room?
Obviously.
I am ready for the challenge.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Okay. Oh, is it going to be an interesting episode? Am I going to be like,
Across town are the Rubadukas. There's
The
Dad Larry,
Rubadukas.
Noah, who's 9, 6-year-old Elijah, and our wife Rebecca.
Rebecca?
I've known Noah since he was 2 years old. I did my first nappy change with him.
He called me up, he's like, he's done poos in the nappy. I was like, okay, just change it. He's like, I don't know how to. And I was like, just do it. Then he called me back and said, I got poo on my finger, I don't know what to do.
I never had kids. I was like, what do I do? Help me here.
Has to be 165 grams. I do a boot camp. Cancelled! I do a boot camp and I do keto as well. Perfect. That evolves around no carbs, no refined sugars,
Yes.
selected vegetables as well. But
Yes.
I'm a trained chef, so I kind of already know what to do and what not to do. Now,
Interesting. Goodness me, we've got Battle of the Diets here today. So keto is an interesting development in the medical world because it is a low protein, low carbohydrate, high fat diet, which sounds bonkers, but actually the body does go into a state of ketosis. I think, if I'm right, it's one of the first like medically recognized like treatments for illness as a diet. I believe that the keto diet is actually now approved as a like medical solution to certain types of illnesses. I think it's actually like prescribed to people through dietitians. Don't hold me to that though.
cheese.
But
Cheese.
there's another obsession in the house.
Oh dear.
Elijah and
not
Noah's
the video
games
gamage.
console.
They do love games, to tell you the truth. Maybe because of me. I was raised around video games.
I do worry about the gaming. I'd rather spend our time outside. Just spending time together is my main focus.
Well, T, I mean, I understand that. I mean, I was a Twitch streamer for 3 years. Video gaming became part of my income stream. So, you know, you can't always say video games are bad, especially if they're like a full-time job. There's not really any difference between sitting at a computer and doing Excel spreadsheets all day long and sitting at a computer but playing games all day long. It's just that the pixels and the outcomes might be slightly different.
Is that tea?
It's time to pack up.
Oh, it's time
This
to
is
pack your
one of
bags,
the
girls.
crazy things I
In your
think
nice
I have ever
beige
done.
cardigan.
The unknown is really freaking me out.
You'll be a good girl.
Interesting.
My worst nightmare would be somewhere really unorganized.
Okay, well, I
I'm
don't
a bit of a
think we're
clean
gonna have that.
freak, and if that was the opposite, I think my anxiety would just like go through.
What's the opposite of a clean freak? Is it like, oh, a dirty freak?
Oh, I'm gonna miss you so much.
Oh, mummy's off
And
to
you.
be a different wife. Mummy swap. Swap mummy.
Ugh.
Swap mummy.
As the wives leave, they know there'll be no contact with
A
their families for the
houndstooth
next
jacket.
week.
She's got a budget. Oh, she's getting very wet. Bye. Jeep, girls.
Very interesting to see what the new family will be like.
Yes.
My ideal husband would be somebody that helps me out more.
I just
Okay.
hope that family likes me.
But this is just it, isn't it? You don't want to go in and be like,
I hate you. You're all doing it all wrong.
and then everyone's like,
You're awful.
and then you've got to spend an entire week with them. I mean, what an awful experience would that be? Although it would probably make very good televisione.
Oh, that's terrible. Thank you.
That's what wife swap used to be, as far as I know. Right, oh. That wouldn't be allowed in cabin. Oh, is this an
Home alone,
apartment?
Rebecca and Carmen get a chance to look about.
Is that the first apartment we've seen? Usually we
my
see
God.
like expensive luxury
Kitchen
bungalow.
is tiny. I don't like this because everything in my house has its place. It's a little bit dirty. I am a super clean freak, and this right here is giving me a little bit of anxiety.
Yeah, but where else can it be? Like, that kitchen is quite modestly sized. Where would you put those saucepans? Like, I often do the same thing because my kitchen is also moderately sized. You just keep them on the hob. Like, if I owned this place and I could build something into the wall where I would hang all my things off and it would look cute and kind of country house vibes in the middle of like a brand new apartment, I don't know, in the middle of like a new build, I don't know. Maybe they don't own it. Maybe they're renting. Maybe that's why, you know, you can't then just bolt things into the wall and be like, oh, look, extra storage.
It's giving me a little bit of anxiety.
Would you say that having pots on a stove is dirty? Because she used the word dirty here. I don't think I would call it dirty. Perhaps untidy, but dirty is quite a stretch.
Well, that's nice. They have a few vegetables and fruits and even a green salad. which is
78
awesome.
eggs.
Very nice living room.
Ooh, what's this? A
Very
duplex?
tidy.
There's no TV.
Yes.
That's really strange. This must be their daughter, and she's very cute.
It's interesting. The pictures on the walls are very interesting because they're very different kids. So it's hard to really tell where the family is from.
I don't like the unmade bed.
Each wife
That's-
has
but an
written a
unmade
detailed
bed is
manual
hardly
to help
dirty,
them
is it?
understand
It's
their
just a bit
new
like-
home.
Hi there. My name is Rebecca, but everyone calls me Bex.
Bex,
My
girl.
name is Carmen. Welcome to our beautiful home. I have a loving partner, Nelson, and 4 years old, beautiful daughter, Marie Helen. I am from Estonia. Nelson is from Colombia, and Marie is born in New Zealand.
There is Larry and our 2 boys, Noah, Elia. They both are really into online gaming. Sounds like it's gonna be quite challenging with 2 boys.
Yes.
I am a house mentor, and I help people to regain their house using food as a medicine. Nelson runs a tennis company. I just don't agree with using food as a medicine. Like, we have doctors and all that for a reason.
Larry will fall asleep on the couch.
Oh dear, am I gonna have a complete change of narrative here? I do think it is our personal responsibility to look after our own diets. If you are actually able to, should be our own responsibilities to, make sure that our bodies get what they need to survive. I hardly think that's a controversial statement to suggest such a thing. I do, however, think there is a limit with how much we can expect diet to help or prevent things like metastatic disease. There are limits, there are limits. Somebody who makes sure that they get all the correct nutrition, all the essential amino acids, the correct amount of carbohydrates, the correct amounts of fats and proteins is going to have a well-oiled body machine, if you like, than someone who doesn't have access to all of those things. However, when it starts to go into other factors, like if you live in a big city and you get pollution, your diet is absolutely not going to help you battle any pollution-based diseases. It's not. It's just not. So, I think there's give and take in the argument here, isn't there?
Couch in front of the TV. Can we remove the TV for the week?
Ooh, yes. Send it
Then
on
a
holiday.
little challenge.
TV swap.
Our daughter is the heart and soul of our family. She loves fresh fruits, berries, and vegetables. She is gluten, dairy, and sugar-free. Oh my God.
Gluten, dairy, and sugar.
No TV, no microwave. I already figured that out.
Noah is the fussiest one when it comes to meal times, as he doesn't like vegetables one bit.
Marie has no telling off. So what do you do when she's naughty? Just walk away? Like, kids need boundaries.
Sounds like it's gonna be interesting to see how well we are gonna get along.
All these households are probably the most different we've seen so far in this series. I can already feel the tension brewing, girls. Tension. But I do agree, children do need boundaries. They love a bit of a challenge, but also when a child is just being difficult because they're being a child, they don't understand reason the same way that adults do. So obviously being be quiet and yelling at the top of your lungs is not good, but teaching sensible boundaries and sensible, not punishment. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I guess it's education. There was a recent TikTok I saw of a child playing with a kitten unattended, and it put the kitten in a blender. Didn't turn it on, but it was gonna. And I was like, I'm so glad I don't have children, because if any child tried to do that to Biscuit,
Electric chair.
I would be absolutely livid. And I also understand that children don't understand reason, but at what point should you just not be no, stop doing that, naughty, and step for something a bit more to show the severity of the situation? That's what you're doing, right? You want to show that certain actions have more severe consequences than others. Gosh, I'm glad I'm not a parent.
I'm feeling very anxious about this.
Oh, interesting.
Now it's time for them to meet.
Hello!
Hello.
Hi.
You gonna take your shoes off?
Hi.
Hi there, how are you?
Hi.
How are you?
Hi. Good.
You gonna say hi?
Hi. My name is Carmen.
I'm Larry, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nervous.
Come on, you gonna come down?
Cool.
Nervous.
All right.
Oh, they've got
How's everything going?
matching jean
Good.
jackets.
Good. You have a very lovely
Very
house.
nice.
Oh, thank you.
Very
thank you.
nice.
Thank you very much. No, have a seat. Have a seat. Hi.
Hi. I'm Bex.
Nelson, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is Marie.
Hello. Shake my hand.
Judgment. She's like, get off me. Hideous
A
peasant.
little bit shy at the beginning.
That's all right.
Oh, she's off.
How you going?
I'm good.
Okay. Oh, very good.
You?
Yeah.
Quirky child.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Yes.
Quirky
I
child
noticed the big
needs a quirky
TV.
approach.
Because we don't have TV at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't even have microwave at home.
You don't have a microwave?
No.
What do you guys use? What do you guys think?
See, weirdly enough, I actually sort of agree with not having a microwave. I know this is probably going to sound a bonk diddly onkers to some people, but I would rather, if I'm going to reheat food, I would rather like reheat it in a way that makes it feel like real food. And I know that sounds obscene being a scientist, to be like, oh, it's not real if it's from the microwave, but like, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of microwaves. I would rather have the space for something else, I guess. Although, ironically, my boyfriend was like,
Oh my god, I can't believe you don't have a microwave. How am I going to make all my microwave things without a microwave, Luxeria? I need a microwave. Oh, microwave.
So I did cave in and eventually get a microwave. He doesn't pissing use it, does he? He only uses it to reheat coffee once it's gone cold. And at that point, I'm like, do you know what? Just make a new coffee, girls. Oh, microwaves.
Pots and pans.
Pots and pans.
Like old times.
Yeah. I don't know, besides you guys, anybody who doesn't have TV or anything like that. But yeah, hopefully it won't be a bad thing or anything like that.
¿Quieres que
How
le ponga
awkward.
acá el heladito? Hola, bebé, quiero poner el heladito ahí.
Ooh.
Ok.
Ice cream
Yummy?
for a snack.
So my family is
Wait,
all
what?
about...
Didn't they say no dairy, no gluten, and no refined sugars? So what is that?
Ok.
What is that? Is that like keto ice cream or something? What is it? What is that?
What is that? Transvestite of the bride?
Oh, she doesn't look too impressed, does she? She's like,
So
no.
my family is
Oh,
all about
awkward
health. They're
girls.
very passionate about health and healthy eating and using food as a medicine. In the morning, I usually have celery juice.
To tell the truth, what we have for breakfast, you probably won't like it. We're just a typical bacon and eggs, hash browns.
Cinco niños, muy...
Didn't she say she was on a keto diet? You can't have hash browns in a keto diet. A keto diet, traditionally you would use maybe 20 grams of carbohydrate per day in your total overall intake. Any more than that and your body can't really achieve something known as ketosis, girl.
Bien.
Which is where
Normally
you
speak
produce
to her in
ketones to
Spanish.
burn fat.
We try to, so my partner tries to talk to her in Estonian,
Yeah.
and I speak to her in Spanish, but we communicate in English.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó con Ana?
Oh.
Ok, mira el papá. ¿Y cuántos dientecitos tiene?
Oh.
I do feel left out because they don't really speak English.
Oh, that's
Every day
yeah,
is busy,
interesting
so
choice.
I hope Bex can keep up with the pace. Yeah, because it's gonna be full on.
Do you ever have a drink with your partner, like a glass of wine or something?
She doesn't really drink, but I do, because I'm probably just one of those typical Kiwi men who like a few beers.
Typical bloke goes down the pub.
I'm the baby. I'm the drunk baby.
Because she is into looking after her body, and fitness is not something that I put on top of the list.
I still haven't met the other boy, so we will see how that will go.
It's dinner time,
We will see how that will go. Interesting.
and there are plenty of tummies to feed.
Right, dinner time.
So normally when I play with Marie,
It's time for a 78 egg omelette. Right, what's this?
I will cook dinner. So you have no spices, nothing.
yeah, so okay. No, actually we don't. I
No
have to get some
spices?
though.
I will make you a soup. How about that?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Interesting. I wonder why the decision to have no spices, especially from like Colombian culture. I know that their food culture is all about flavors, so interesting.
Naughty mummy.
I wonder why. Oh, steak.
Perfect. And then
Steak and
you
eggs.
take the lid,
It's steak and eggs for
Oh
Carmen,
my God,
but
she's
help is at
psychic.
hand.
and then we wait.
And how long would you keep it for?
So usually about a minute or two.
Okay.
A minute or two is the difference between...
Sorry. We use this water.
Oh,
It's gonna be quite interesting.
really?
Yeah. So we use
So you
without
buy...
chlorine. Yeah. Actually, we drink more coconut water. Coconut water is very good for hydration and for performance is really good.
I don't drink coconut.
No? Really?
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, Carmen has a...
I do think sometimes there is a little bit of like clever marketing by alternative medicine companies because they're like, no, don't have any nasties in your cheaper alternatives. Come and pay £8 a minute for our things, such as coconut water. Sometimes I do think it is just a bit money grabbing, especially when you get someone like Gwyneth Paltrow, who is like an absolute touter of this kind of naturopath lifestyle. And I just think, oh my God, I don't want your fanny candle. But also Gwyneth had a scandal when in one of her cookery books that she released, she made brownies that would cost like the average person $48 to make. And it's just obscene. Like, I do think it is a little bit money grabby in a way. I am a big fan of having things like added fiber into your diet as a way to like improve your digestive system, but there are like affordable options that don't require you to have just pure refined coconut water forever. I don't know. I don't know what my thought process was there. If you can get any information from that, good luck.
Escaped from the kitchen and is hanging out with Elijah.
So what else do you like to do other than PlayStation?
Do you play Fortnite before?
No, I haven't seen it. I have no idea.
I'd play against you.
As long as you're your teammate, who you kill them. Are there someone in your teammate? You can't kill them.
But what do you think about killing people? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a nice thing?
Yes!
Absolutely not.
So why do you do it? Why do you kill people?
On Fortnite, because you need to kill people.
Oh, jeez, no. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay.
I mean, you aren't actually killing people. That's the thing. I don't believe in this whole violence in video games causes gout. Because we've had like people have actually just burnt people at the stake previously, and there weren't video games involved in that, were there? I think people are just naturally a bit violent sometimes, especially if they lack certain boundaries with other people.
Flavour is everything that makes your dish, and having lack or none of it is
even
just
salt and pepper is a great
the
option.
opposite of what I've ever known.
You actually need salt in your diet.
Is
You need
really
some level
weird.
of added
Like,
salt.
we don't live in a...
I'm sorry, is that a boiled chicken? Are we boiling a chicken with carrots? Okay, delicious. Oh,
really weird.
Boiled
we
hen.
don't live in a third world country where water is dirty and disgusting.
We don't say that, we say developing nation.
Steak, eggs, vegetables, and chippies as well.
Okay.
Chippies?
That's nice.
Chippies.
At weekends, Larry and his family normally eat in front of the TV.
Oh!
She's dead.
So is the TV usually on when you eat?
Yep.
Oh, see, there is something quite, I don't know. I quite like eating at a table. I don't know if anyone here might agree with that. I do feel like there is some fun, though, in being like, should we have dinner on our lap?
Should we have like a takeaway and sit on our lap? Yeah, on the lap. Yeah, let's put on a YouTube video. Oh my God, Nick Crowley's 8 best parts of the internet.
Oh my God.
Unhinged behaviour, but it is fun. But if you're having like a sloppy dinner, should we say, oh, that's disgraceful. If you're having like a roast dinner with gravy and things, like it needs to be at a table. You can't be like precariously wiggling it all over the sofa, girl. Like, no. It's the
day
next
2 of the
day.
swap.
Day 2 of the swap.
Oops.
Daytona Beach.
And Carmen's met Noah. But rather than computer games, the Lego is out.
Oh.
Giving Carmen a chance to write down her thoughts.
I wonder what happened then. Maybe it was something like previous partner was custody something, maybe? I don't know. Interesting that they're just like, and she's already met him, goodbye, Lego time.
It's starting to look like a vehicle now.
Wow, that looks
Not
really
bad.
good.
It looks like a
Vehicular.
squash.
Yeah? Is it moving? Is it moving the way you want it to be moving?
I don't know.
Oh, I loved building stuff. I still do. It's why I love theme park games.
But it's not long before the electronics come out.
Okay.
No. Sorry. Is there any other activities you like to do apart from iPad?
No.
Do you like board games or... I know you
Do you
like
know how to
Lego.
play Uno?
Yes, I do.
Uno emoji?
Yeah. Kids
Uno
do like
emoji.
to do other things as well apart from sitting in a TV. I'm not sure if they haven't had the chance to do other things. But I have been taking some notes what I would like to change tomorrow. I have a few different ideas, and
So I've never really had like a big family. Growing up, it was just me, my mum and my dad. And my mum was quite unwell, so we didn't really have like a typical family dynamic. I didn't have like a large family. We didn't get together for board game nights. We didn't do any of that. Although when my grandma used to come over, we would sometimes play a game called Rummy Cub. And I loved this, girls. There is a part of me that kind of laments this idea of like, I wish I was part of a bigger family, which is why now it's very interesting that I met my boyfriend who has quite a large family actually in comparison to mine. And like family game nights are a thing that happens, like family group chats and family events and things happen. And I still feel a little bit like, hello, like what? What do you mean? No, stop it. What? No, I'm not involved. I'm not family. It is kind of odd. It's an odd experience. It's something I've always wanted, but I think I will always feel a little bit like an outsider. Not because of how people treat me, but because of how I've been brought up to be like only child, basically.
really hope that it will benefit their family.
I think playing games together really benefits
I'm going to make tomorrow.
Although sometimes it can bring out the weapons, girl.
And we're gonna do some warm-up.
For Bex, Nelson's giving her a
Warm
day
that
on court.
Go, 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 go. Very good.
Little
Ready?
jiggles.
And try to go.
Little wiggles.
Ready? Three.
Oh dear.
Come on, you can do it. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and go.
Wait, you can't
This
go
is
from
called the
nothing to loads, I
carioca
will
step,
say.
so Brazilian.
To work up to
Like
it.
the samba. Opposite arm, opposite legs. Very good. Nice. You're
That's
gonna
a lot
turn,
of jumping.
and you're gonna keep the racket there. Oh, that's great.
Think of
1,
knees, poor
2,
knees.
and go.
Got this.
Yay.
Ready? Very good.
Do you know what? I really love to get out physical, like, dominance when I play sports. Can't say that as a trans woman because we're never meant to win. However, I must admit, when playing tennis, it is really frustrating that you can't just give that ball the hardest smash you've ever, like, seen ever. You just can't do that because the whole point is that you don't. It's like a controlled burst. Badminton, however, vicious swipes through the air from the shuttlecock girls. Die! I love badminton so much. Oh, I need to play it. Oh, badminton. Oh dear. Oh, dead.
That's better. Nice.
Ooh.
Oh.
Out.
Okay, very good.
Sweating.
Yeah, so
Good.
well done.
Gin
Very
hair,
nice.
don't care.
Happy about that. I actually really enjoyed it. Nelson is an amazing coach, and I feel like him and Carmen are passionate about a lot of things that they enjoy doing together, which is what me and my partner kind of lack.
It's
I really feel like I
foundation
need
of
to
a
find
good
something that
relationship is
we
passion
both
for each
enjoy
other and each other's
and
interests.
be passionate about.
Oh, a
Hello.
learning moment.
Hi.
Well, I know you like fish and chippies.
Not fish and chippies, chippy
At the
tea.
Rubadukas.
My
All
goodness.
right.
The size
Carmen's
of
off the hook again with cooking duties as Larry's come home with a surprise.
Oh.
How were they today?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very rare for them to
Oh, fish and chips. It is delicious, but doesn't it look bland? Beige, beige and more beige, but it is delicious. It is delicious. It's not very keto friendly though. So I don't understand how Rebecca was like, I do a keto diet. I run a boot camp. We're all keto. Fish and chips are not keto. Oh dear.
very rare for them to sit down and do Legos and concentrate doing Legos because they
You
get,
waste the whole day.
you know, I will need your secret.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh, I
usually
see.
eat takeaways? No?
Little challenges.
Be honest.
Well, we buy takeaway, but a little bit different than the fish and chips.
Yeah.
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 So because there are a few places where they sell salads, like
Yeah.
paleo salads. That's quite nice.
Paleo salads. Interesting.
On the other side of town, Nelson
Paleo salad? Is that a drag quan?
is also in for a surprise.
Right, okay. Ooh.
So is it
Size
soup?
those-
Or
No, I got some.
buckwheat? Oh,
Yes.
nice.
I cooked it in homemade chicken stock.
Oh, sounds amazing. Very good.
Okay.
Right, but what's the surprise?
The kitchen?
Thank you.
Buckwheat
I have
salad?
to take these recipes because this is amazing. What you just made today is perfect. And it's so tasty that I will eat this every day, you know?
I don't think you know, but I'm a trained chef.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, that's good. Well, we're lucky. Marie,
Bex es una chef.
Oh, so she doesn't speak any English at all. Interesting. Oh.
What's your favorite?
No, don't pick your food apart because it is quite grotesque, but I also understand that if she's on a strict diet, then this should not have really happened because diets are a personal choice. Oh, this is a bit much, isn't it?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
A part of this chips or sausages or fish?
Chips and fish.
Yeah? What about you?
Oh, I really want fish and chips now.
Chips and fish.
Yeah.
There's a place near me that does a vegan battered sausage with chips, and it's so delicious, but like never in stock.
For me, deep fried food has never been the first choice.
Good.
I do fry food myself in coconut oil, but I find it much lighter than deep fried food.
Yes, that is true.
Carmen,
it's meant to be a treat,
Maurier.
isn't it? But
This
realistically, in this
book is
modern
called
busy
Paleo,
world.
which means listen.
Okay.
Vakarango kita ho, which means listen to the winds.
Whilst Noah and Elijah are in bed by 7, Nelson,
Samba
Bex
girl.
and Marie's night is only just
The
starting.
Zumba.
I'm so nervous, honestly. I just do not start. Oh my gosh.
They're very like
What are you
into
making
loads
me
of
do?
different things, aren't they?
I'm Bex.
Oh, don't point her out, poor thing. Ooh, pop that puss. Oh, oh dear.
I don't understand that.
No, it does feel funny having to do like choreography when you don't do any of it. Oh, he is the coach though, isn't he? I think they said.
Good job. Very
Okay, I'm getting it now.
Nice.
Do you know, I thought this was going to be a bit more explosive than it is. I know we haven't experienced any of the changes yet, but I did think it was going to be a bit more combative.
She didn't believe that she could actually dance, but at the end of the day, she did amazing. She did really well.
I'm constantly worrying about what others think of me, and
Yes.
he's just like, who cares? Let's just have fun and just enjoy the moment.
Yes, it is
Yeah, I wish
difficult
I
to
had
let go
that.
though. I don't know if I would feel very comfortable in a dance class being like da 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 da, but I'm perfectly fine doing it on YouTube apparently. Ah! Big titty lady videos on the internet.
It's Dawn at the Rubadukas.
It's Dawn at the Rubadukas. That's such an interesting last name. It's very like rhythm and rhyme.
Morning.
Sugar and
Wakey,
spice.
wakey.
Gertie and Gouty.
Good morning.
Morning.
Oh, so early.
Is it time for her to be like,
I
hello?
called you here because today we are going to make some changes.
Is it 5 a.m.?
I've been very indecisive
I don't know,
about
very pleased.
what rules to choose, because I've been a bit worried about how he will react. I really hope one of my rules he doesn't take too personally.
Our bodies
Oh,
are
God!
our temples, and we need to start treating them as such. Larry is going to try my celery juice.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
Can't wait.
Your family spends a lot of time out and about. I appreciate
So you must sit down and stop doing that.
running a successful business, but I felt like we haven't quite found the balance between work and family. I would like us to sit down and relax as a family once a day and watch an hour of family-friendly TV together.
An hour a day of TV. Ooh, if you're someone who runs their own business, you know that is a big ask. I save all of my TV nonsense that I want to watch, whether that's like Netflix or I don't know, YouTube, whatever, when I have time specifically free with my boyfriend on the weekends, unless I'm getting ready. If I'm putting makeup on, no doubt I'm watching the latest Novimpia nonsense. Gonna get loopy on my. But an hour a day of TV whilst running your own business? Is that doable? I mean, it should be, realistically, because you should have a work-life balance. But, like, if you run your own business, you know the stress of, like, trying to stay alive is actually, it's too much, isn't it? It's too much.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, is that the one she was
Yeah, 1
worried?
hour is a lot.
The whole family is spending a little bit too much time on TV. So starting today, there will be no more TV, no more PlayStation.
Oh no.
No more iPad. I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi as well.
I can't live without internet. I'll probably die without it.
I don't think you're gonna die, but you may.
You have data. Yeah, you have data so you can go on the internet.
I will turn off my data as well. I have to respect the rules.
The day is going to be so busy that you wouldn't even notice that the TV is not here.
Okay, all right. I'm interested to see how the day is going to be so busy you won't notice this thing that you've been accustomed to for years and years and years and been born into, in fact, is suddenly not there. I do feel like it is a bit far to go from like unfettered access to something to go to zero. But then again, I guess in like the terms of like recovery, if you're talking about like substance recovery, you do go from infinite access to zero, don't you? So I don't know. We'll see. I do think like monitoring children on the internet is a good thing. I do think limiting the amount of digital stuff they have access to is a good thing. I do think limiting downtime is a good thing as well because it kind of prevents boredom in a way. Like when I think, oh my God, I've only got an hour spare, I want to get the most out of that hour possible, even if that is just this hour, I'm gonna do nothing because I've been looking forward to doing nothing as an adult. That's quite fun. For like young people and children, I think being able to say like, oh my God, you've only got 2 hours, so do you want to keep playing that game that you've been really excited about, or do you want to waste time scrolling through Reddit? I don't know, do children go on Reddit? They probably shouldn't, should they? Oh!
I have noticed that Marie has a very late bedtime. I think a regular routine is very important for young kids, and an early bedtime helps them get the rest that they need. From now on, Marie will have a bedtime of 7 p.m. and
that's
sleep
early.
by 7:30.
So yeah, we have a different point of view. I agree that there is a minimum amount of hours that Marie has to sleep, but I don't think that putting an exact time is like putting her in a box, but we can try.
So I sort of see what they're saying here, but I do also get a little bit like, okay, so this child has no access to refined sugars, no access to technology, no access to the internet. She might be a bit young to be in school. We haven't had conversations about homeschooling or anything like that. I am a bit like, how is this child so far removed from what everyone else is doing going to be able to thrive later in life if they haven't had the exposure to it growing up? Sure, I don't think all screen time is good screen time, but like now we're looking at things like teaching children in school how to code programs and software and how to come up with their own problem-solving skills through using computers. And it's just like, if you completely remove that and they try to catch up later, they're never going to catch up to some of the people that have had access to it forever. I don't know. I do feel a little bit like swings and roundabouts, you know what I mean? Like, as much as it is nice to live a nomadic lifestyle where you don't really have where you have quite an off-grid approach to the world, it's quite unrealistic to have it in like pretty developed nations like New Zealand. I don't know, it seems a little bit, I'm going to use this word, cruel. It feels a little bit cruel because I wish that I had learnt software engineering as a literal child because I would be very good at it instead of being like, oh, what? I just learned to code MySpace and I still think the world runs on HTML and it doesn't and I'm upset.
I think that went half well.
Yes?
Watching TV 1 hour is going to be very challenging. It might be quite boring for me.
It'll be a challenge.
Oh dear.
You know, it'll be a challenge.
A challenge.
My heart sunk when I heard the words no Wi-Fi because we do rely on our Wi-Fi. So taking that away will be
if it's filled with predictable things, though, like surely it won't matter quite so much.
It's straight in at the deep end for Larry. Carmen's preparing his celery juice for breakfast.
It is really good for liver detox. Celery has a lot of different mineral salts and
like
vitamins.
Like what?
And I usually like to put a little bit of coriander because coriander is a very good binder for heavy metals.
Like right now, I'm
Heavy metals should absolutely not be in your diet. I hate to say it, but like a tiny sprig of coriander in your diet is absolutely not going to negate the effect of heavy metals in your body. Heavy metals can cause absolute chaos if left untreated without like medical chelation. So I do find it very interesting that she said, coriander is really good at removing heavy metals from the liver for liver detox, and it's this much. Like, for example, if you're experiencing lead poisoning, having a little sprig of coriander is not going to help. You have to get to a hospital. See, this is where I do get a little bit like, okay, I can see the overall picture that you're going for, but you would have to consume like 14 kilograms of coriander if it even does have a chelation property. And how do you know the coriander in your local shop has chelation properties? How do you know the species has not been designed to grow quicker and have less chelation properties than something made in a laboratory that we actually know will chelate? It all gets a bit mysticism. It all gets a bit like not really where it needs to be in order to be called medicine, if you know what I mean. So, yes, I can understand having essential amino acids and vitamins and salts in your diet from your, like, vegetable sources. Great, love that. But saying something like, oh, celery salts are really good for detoxifying the liver. I have it with coriander to get rid of heavy metals from the body, doesn't carry any weight for me. It really doesn't. I would be more than happy if someone out there completely disagrees with me and shares a PubMed article of peer-reviewed science saying, yes, eat coriander and be free of lead poisoning. 18 people found that with a P rating of 0.05, there was a significant instance of chelation from the body. I'd be fascinated to read it, but tea.
Right now, I'm thinking about, oh, should I make a coffee while you're making that?
I do think we do rely on too much
Carmen's
caffeine.
got a lot of knowledge around what she eats and how the body responds to it. For me personally, it's food I eat. I don't care.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Yep.
That's not
The
breakfast,
moment
never.
of truth.
Come on, Lanji. Chin chin. Come on. Try it.
Oh, it'll be raw as well, won't it?
It's still tasting nothing.
Very creamy, very celery-ish.
Oh, he doesn't like it. Well, he's being a great sport about it.
I am so excited.
Oh, not a spatchcock
Meanwhile,
chicken.
across town, Bex has a reason to season.
Oh.
A reason
Like
to season?
Here it comes.
What is that?
Flavor.
What is that? What is that? What is it? What
Here
seasoning
comes
is
the
that?
salt.
Oh, yes.
Delicious.
Felt a bit. The secret to making good food, according to one of my chef friends, is add loads of butter and salt. It's just butter and salt on everything. Makes it delicious. Of course, be in moderation. We do need salt. We need a little bit of butter, perhaps, because we need some fat in our diet. But don't go wild, girls.
We're gonna hit balls
No
like
buttery, lard, buttered.
No
Put butter on your lard.
For Carmen, as she hits the court, ready to smash a winning rule for her
Ready
new
to
boys.
smash his back doors in.
Welcome, everyone. This is my second.
Why did I say that?
She pegs him, I'm sorry.
Welcome, everyone. This is my second home where I spend most of the time of my day.
There's my boudoir.
Opening the door, over the shoulder. Good. Happy feet, happy feet.
Oh, that's fun, though.
High five, well done.
Soon, a match is on the cards.
Let's have a game.
Okay.
Let me see how good you really are. Here we go. Larry, you got this.
Ooh.
Oh,
Beat. Is the
jeez.
child the umpire?
Minus 1 point, Larry.
They need a little dog to go and chase it and bring it back. Ooh. Ooh. Are we volleying? Is this a volley? Is this volleyball?
Did you see that, people?
No.
It's all 2.
Oh, beautiful, mate. Beautiful. They're
She
good?
hasn't lined
High
that
five?
tin.
Somebody is hungry. Good job. High five. Good girl.
Interesting. Right.
Ah, all right, you won that one. Good game.
Good game, thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, you definitely have played more than once.
Oh, I have. I just need to
Yeah.
practice.
I'm very surprised that Larry actually had a lot of really good shots.
The PlayStation games have, has showed me some techniques because I do have some tennis games at home.
He did look very excited.
Do you reckon production then was like,
Do you think playing video games has helped you play tennis?
what an interesting turn of phrase.
Tennis games at home.
He did look very excited and happy to play tennis, so I do hope that he will try at least one more time.
If I would have had coffee this morning, my bacon and eggs, I would have definitely had the energy to beat her.
Good job.
Early to bed was one of Beck's new rules, and Marie is all set for anything but.
Oh dear, she's like, hello, it's time to play!
A blanket too.
No, I don't need a blanket. Okay, which book do you want to read first?
That one.
My little...
Sandra's unicorn.
Yeah.
She wished with all her heart to be a unicorn.
Oh, I wouldn't bother. No, you get fetishized on the internet.
It's a unicorn.
Yeah, she's loaded pony got unicorn.
It's Dietary!
Oh, hello! She's back from the Zumba.
Okay.
Oh dear. Well, now you've excited her. She's not going to go to bed. Look what you've done! Super Nanny! Where's Super Nanny?
You guys are in a crisis. I'm on my...
Perfect!
Oh, that's a nice big cuddle. When he came in, it made me feel like your plan didn't work, you know? Your schedule doesn't work.
A good time for her to go to sleep is about 9 or 9:30. That's the time that she normally will go to sleep. So 2 hours earlier than that, it will be probably, you know, she will probably still have quite a bit of energy.
Interesting, actually, because I didn't have a bedtime growing up, but then again, I was an only child. I imagine if you have more than one sibling, it might be more beneficial for parents to be like, right, everybody to bed now, kind of thing.
Go to sleep.
The size of those windows, beautiful.
Carmen and the boys come back to a little surprise.
Oh.
What happened to the TV? Why not?
Oh, caution, the police are investigating this television.
You can't touch the PlayStation nor the TV, okay?
Right.
It just means you can't touch.
That's so mean.
Respect the rules, please. Noah, okay?
Oh, she's so happy. She's
No
like,
tablet,
yes.
okay? Respect the rules now.
Obviously, it's not something they would see every day, that they're not allowed to have iPads. But I'm surprised that they are taking it very calmly.
Yes, for now, until they get bored, perhaps? Or too bored?
Meanwhile,
Every
Bex
child needs
is
to get a bit
doing
bored.
exactly the opposite with Nelson and Marie.
Oh, there's a timer.
But when the program is finished, Marie seems underwhelmed.
¿Quieres agüita, bebé? ¿Quieres heladito?
Dear, what's this?
You want ice cream? Okay. I'll bring you ice cream, yeah?
You want ice cream?
No.
No.
What's happening?
Why do you think Marie was a little bit upset? Because I was actually like confused as to why she was.
Me too. I'm not sure. What do you think?
Because if one of my boys had done that, I would not, like, how I see it is I would not treat them to, like, for being upset for no reason. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't see anything wrong on her being a little bit upset.
Yeah.
I thought instantly, you know, we should probably take her in a positive situation. And so, yeah, she enjoys the ice cream, and then, you know, she will be fine again. And
Sometimes Elijah, he does this quite often. And Larry and I will just walk away. And we will say, you know, when you've calmed down, come and talk to us and explain to me why you're upset. And we can talk about it. Like, I'm opening...
If you notice, there's not an argument happening, but it's like bubbling discourse, should we say? Bubbling discourse, new word of the week. And I sort of feel a friction kind of happening about this. But I also do kind of think, quite often, do children get upset for no reason? The part of the sentence I have a problem with is for no reason. Like, children are irrational beings, and there usually is a reason why they're upset. But then again, I don't have children, so maybe sometimes children are just like, ah!
I'm really open to talk about feelings with them and discuss why they're upset.
Yeah.
But,
Venga para acá.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Mari, ¿por qué estabas bravita?
Marie still doesn't know how to verbalize her emotions, and she does it by moaning. And I feel like they should be trying to teach her
Ways
how
of
to express
communication.
those things.
Yes,
Why were you
I agree.
Just put on your phone.
I don't think Nelson does realise that he is rewarding bad behaviour and moaning for absolutely no reason.
I don't think it's bad behavior when you cry or when you miss your mom. I wouldn't call it a bad behavior.
Yes! Ah, that makes sense. So she misses her mum. You can't punish someone for missing someone. That's... No, we're not doing that. We're not even indulging in that argument. Absolutely not.
¿Quieres más ice cream? Do you want more ice cream?
She knows that we are gonna be quite firm if there is some boundaries that she crosses. I don't think anyone should be punished because they are feeling sad.
I agree.
That's probably that's what I could read from the situation.
I agree. That is quite a sensible take, actually.
No.
Huh. Interesting.
Carmen's got a console clash brewing across town.
Oh dear.
He was just on the iPad and I had to get it off him.
Oh, you can't take it off like that. You have to ask nicely. So what I will do is I will give it to you for 5 minutes, okay? But only 5 minutes. We have a deal? Yeah? Okay.
Okay.
I'm going upstairs.
Elijah?
Yeah?
Look, I have clock there. I will be keeping my eye on that clock as well. So I will know exactly when it's 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now here's a surprise.
Thank you, Elijah. You did really well following through our deal. I'm very proud of you. Thank you.
When like young people and like learning humans and like kids actually follow through with the rules that you've set them, if they are sensible, that's actually a lovely display of like understanding, if that makes sense. That's our love now. That's nice, isn't it? I don't know why, but I always expect immediate chaos.
At dinner, the boys get right back on their beloved
Oh
screens.
dear.
Guys, Daddy's coming back in 5 minutes. We need to tidy up.
Hi.
Daddy.
Is it
What are you guys doing?
Cleaning up.
Cleaning up. How's it day?
Good.
But tidying up's not all they're doing.
What, wasn't the TV cancelled?
Come to jump on the tablet?
Yeah.
You sure?
No,
Yes, I did.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I did.
Well,
No, you didn't.
Carmen said you didn't.
I did.
You sure?
I did.
Well, what Carmen says, you follow the rules.
Oh,
She's potentially
dear.
not putting her foot down. She's not taking charge. She's not leading, you know, because with Noah and Elijah, you need to lead. You need to give them options, but yet again, sometimes they're boys, 5 and 9. They will drift off and get their own thing.
Huh.
Can you touch the sky?
Interesting.
Touch!
I guess it's also the difference between having a single child and several children.
She's keen to teach Nelson.
Mari, vamos.
Trampolining.
Get in!
Everybody's knees go!
Okay, Bex, you have to.
What is that?
The reason
a trash
why I
can?
brought us here
Right.
is because I wanted to do something that Marie really loves to do. Because in my house, we always do something that the kids want to do to share their time with us.
Okay, well, we had a similar experience in one of the
When
last
I was
episodes when it was
younger,
like bowling.
I barely
They're
saw my
going
mum 'cause
bowling.
She was always working, like a lot. And I used to live with a nanny. So when I had my boys, I just would never do that because I felt so alone. And I'd never want my kids to ever feel like they're alone. And
Yes,
I've never
very
met my
good.
dad. And like the first time I ever met him, I was at his funeral. So.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that, but...
No, it's fine. It like made me who I am today. 1, 2, 3.
Goodness me.
Go!
This show does explore grief quite a lot, I've noticed.
Family to me is so massive. Like that's all I believe in.
Interest
Having one-on-one time with your parents is absolutely amazing, you know, but also that family time where you're all together, I think is really hard for them. They need to make time for that because that's the most precious thing. And
I think what I'm learning from this episode is that like parenting is actually quite complicated and there isn't a one-size-fits-everyone option, is there? It's just kind of like you have to try and do your best, but you have to also know where your shortcomings are in order to be able to transform, educate yourself, and become even a better person than you were yesterday. Oh, she's got a degree, girls.
She's only going to be this age once in her life.
But you could say that about every age.
I don't think Nelson has taken on any advice I've given him. He's just so stuck in his routine that it's really hard to break away from that. And I get it. He's just a business owner trying to make his way. He also has to realize that Marie is just as important as his love for tennis and his passion for his business.
Today, the wives return to their families.
We're gonna see some drama, girls.
Bye, Marie. I'm gonna miss you.
Goodbye, Maria. She doesn't care. She was like, "Who's that? Goodbye, peasant."
Cool.
What do you guys
The
like
Matrix.
about Carmen?
She keeps saying yes to me.
She keeps on saying yes to you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's what you should say.
Dear.
No.
Exactly.
See, this is what I mean.
My heart is beating like crazy.
I did look Marie's pictures last night. I was like, okay, I can finally go back to her. Okay.
I'm really nervous to meet Carmen. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm just so nervous to meet her.
I think there could potentially be some tension here.
Hello, Poopy.
Hello, Poopy.
You know,
I just missed you.
Why do we give, like, not everyone does this, but, like, a lot of the people I know have, like, pet names for their significant others that are, like, Poop or Plop. Like, I call Louis Plops sometimes, and it's actually objectively quite grim. But still, my little Louis Plops.
Hi.
Very business. We're having a business dinner.
How are you?
A keto business dinner. A paleo business dinner.
I'll give you a handshake.
Nelson,
nice to meet you. How are you?
Hi, nice to meet you.
The meeting for the first time.
Is this the same room they meet in every time? Do they pull them from wherever they are across New Zealand to this specific room? Or is this just like a style of room that happens everywhere?
Well, I'm meeting you for the first time.
And Nelson. We know Nelson.
How are you, Nelson?
Very good.
That's good. Thank you.
What about you?
Good.
Oh
Hope
dear,
she didn't
is
say
it
anything bad
business?
about us or anything.
Oh, don't be like that. Gosh.
How was the experience?
It was a good experience. I've never had celery juice for breakfast.
Okay.
You know?
Is it good?
Hell no.
I've been struggling so long for these boys to eat veggies and all
They
that.
eat now.
It's good.
Noah, he has a lot of carbohydrates, like flour-based things. So I introduced him to smoothies, and now he comes himself, takes the ingredients for the smoothie, like berries, banana, big handful of spinach, kale. He puts them in the blender, mixes it all together, and just drinks it.
That's amazing.
Okay.
You both do.
Still, smoothies are not actually a good replacement because it destroys the fiber and refines the sugar in the fruit and vegetables. Unfortunately, fruit and vegetables are kind of meant to be eaten exactly as they grow, kind of raw and ready. But who wants to eat raw broccoli? Although broccoli is not technically a naturally existing plant. Flower? I don't know. Is broccoli a flower? I think it is, isn't it? It was cultivated many years ago from the cauliflower.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Naughty mummy.
Eat very interesting things. For example, there was this shot that you gave me. It cleans the liver.
Herbal.
It's a herbal shot.
Yeah.
Tried that.
The liver cleans
I'm gonna
itself,
say the most
though,
disgusting
so-
thing I ever had.
Okay.
Health doesn't have to be disgusting.
So, Bex, she tried to put the TV on, and Mari got bored.
What TV? We don't have a TV. Do we have a TV now?
Yeah, so, but the thing is that Mari got really bored, and at the end she started crying.
She doesn't like to watch TV.
I enjoyed my time with Marie.
Interesting.
But I find that she just kind of cries for no reason, and I don't understand why.
That happened when the TV finished, and then she started crying. So I didn't see that as she was actually moaning. I thought maybe she's confused.
I thought there was absolutely no boundaries with Marie. And it kind of troubled me a little bit that when she does cross boundaries in my perspective, that Nelson just rewarded her with ice cream, which that's something that I would not do. Yeah.
We had a little disagreement about discipline. If you do something wrong, like I said, there's consequences. For them, is time out in your room, you know, or I took the PlayStation away, or take the tablet.
We didn't have any fights. It was quite calm. The boys were like playing with each other quite nicely together. We didn't have problems with TV and iPad, so it's...
Interesting. I mean, she sort of did, though, because they were having problems with taking iPads from each other and being on the iPads for a bit longer. And then also when she was cooking dinner, there was that situation where the kids just went straight back onto the electronics. So, don't quite agree there, Carmen. No.
There'll be some things that we disagree on, but overall...
Of course, that's parenting.
You know,
there is no right answer except don't injure your child.
Carmen actually opened up another area of me to say, okay...
She pegs him.
Everything. There's other things. The boys, I've never seen the boys on that table drawing and writing as much.
So I've been trying to do that for so long, because I'm like you, like the screens are not everything, you know?
I learn a lot from you. I learn new ways to cook. I have to say the TV is not gonna survive.
It's okay. I really do that. It's fine.
Interesting.
I really enjoyed this experience. I think your family is amazing, very respectful, very polite.
I learned how passionate you guys are about something, like your tennis, and I feel like that's kind of what we're lacking, is like being passionate about something that we can both enjoy together. I love how Nelson's really motivational and really like pushes me to my boundaries, but I like that because we're not really like that with each other. We're just like, okay, you do that and I'll do this. Yeah. That's really made me a bit more confident about certain areas and how I think. Yeah.
It's just Carmen showed us that there is other ways of entertaining yourself without, you know, sitting in front of that.
I thought this was going to be quite
There will still
frictional.
be the TV time, but I won't, you know, be on it maybe as much.
That's not a really like answer, is it? It's more like a I might.
No, it's not a might.
I might, maybe when, sort of a little bit.
Turn the TV on, and I will come to bed.
Okay. Yes, if your screens are taking away from your
Finally,
private time together.
it's time to head home.
Wow, okay, that was much less frictional than I thought it was going to be.
How are you? You're good?
Oh dear.
Oh, my boy. Did you miss me?
My little biscuit boy.
I missed you so much.
A flower. Or was it a dead mouse?
I was here. It felt good because when I came back home, you know, I could see the Wi-Fi symbol come on my phone. So I was like, oh, we're back on the grid. So.
Back! So from today, I've decided we're going to keep one rule. There's going to be no more TV.
Oh.
Okay. This friend is not staying. Our family doesn't need it, and you don't make us happy, my friend.
I'm just joking.
Oh, I see. Oh, I was a bit like, oh dear, upset the baby.
Scare me like that?
Okay, well, my goodness me, my lovelies. Okay, I've got some thoughts. So, my loves, what an interesting episode. I must have said the word interesting about 9,000 times today. I've watched some interesting shows today. This episode, I feel like if it was made 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you know, one of the early mid-noughties kind of reality TV shows, I think production would have made the last like meeting of the parents so much more chaotic and explosive than we saw in this one. We actually saw quite a lot of like tentative, like, I'm gonna say something that might be a problem, but I'm also going to soften it with something that like helps deliver the blow. Do you know what I mean? Like, take your medicine with sugar. Oh, but not refined. I think we've actually covered some, like, rather difficult topics to talk about in today's episode, especially when it comes to people's diets versus, like, medical intervention. I understand that, like, a lot of people don't trust Big Pharma. I think Big Pharma has its own set of issues. I actually think that a lot of the problems in Big Pharma don't come from the scientists themselves. It actually comes from the marketing department. It comes from the business side. You know, everything has to be done for profit. Everything has to be neatly fitted in between these two lines to maximize the most profit. Whereas actually we should take a much more individualistic, holistic approach to medicine through science. But then that's a completely different topic for a completely different day. And unfortunately, that can't really happen under capitalism, unless, of course, we really delve into, like, personalized gene editing, which is something that we're just not there yet. We're just not there. Not just yet. Aside from that, I actually think that some of the rule changes here were a little bit much, in my opinion. So Carmen, when she took away all of the screens, I was a bit like, this seems like a lot. But then literally 10 minutes later, we saw the children having screens and screen time, but it was like minimized, which I actually think is much better, because you can't just say no screens ever for anyone ever, because that literally is taking you out of the most important technology advancement that we've had in the last, like, 30 years, which is like the evolution of the internet, one could say. Although I will say that obviously with every technology comes negatives. The technology itself isn't inherently good or bad, it's just the people and how you interact with it, I think. But my loves, let me know what you think about what we've seen in today's episode, because it's been quite conversational as opposed to argumentative, if you know what I mean. I was a bit expecting it to be a bit more. From the introduction we saw to both families, I was a bit like, oh, it's gonna be explosive, girls. And actually, as in tradition on New Zealand's Wife Swap, it's very understandable. It felt like a place of understanding kind of came, even if both families were like, we're not going to do all that. Well, my lovelies, with that, it's time for the Patreons. You can see yourself scrolling past on the screen right here. Yes, you can. If you'd like to become part of the Patreon and provide a little bit of extra support here on the Chanel, check the little link in the description box below for the tiers and the rewards. And with that, my lovelies, as always, I want to say a massive thank you to my top tier Patreons. Orcos Emoji, Beebles32, Shell Herman, Christy Crownover, Christina Kyle, ContraPoints, Danielle, Elizabeth Stone, Emily Worsham, Eric Castillo, Finn Dunham, Jen Martin, Caitlin Wright, Larry Lane, Laura Jane, Les Banana, Lizette Cares, Min Mintier, Mariah Sherman, Ms. Kiss, Novembrix, Paolo Rivera, Rubik's.co, Ryan Vita, Slampire Queen, Steffi Tech, The Chaos Collective, Vicky Walsh, Victoria Corella, and Zoe Sevier. What a good boy you've been today, my love. And you know what, my lovelies? I'm gonna leave it on the note of a great thing we saw today was being able to deliver difficult information and difficult opinions in a way that wasn't inflammatory. And I think that's something I'm going to try and incorporate into my life a little bit more as well. Although I do love a bit of drama, but not being involved in it. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Yes!